Hello everybody, I'm Saiki Ichigo Kimishiro Arclight, and today I am doing a redraw of Fuka from the anime game series OZMAFIA. So a couple of days back, I put a poll on my DeviantArt and asked my watchers to vote between several different drawings that were all a year more or older, and I asked them to vote between them, and whichever one got the most votes, that would be the one that I redraw to showcase my experience. So, yeah, the drawings that I picked for them to vote between were my Kanao Sayuri drawing, In Loving Memory, The Flowers Will Bloom, or Spider Lilies Will Bloom, which is what it was called. That was the first drawing that I did in Clip Studio Paint. My drawing that I did for May several years back, which was of my OCs Azura and Akira. My drawing of Kaila and Lila, Black Cage, White Prison, and my OZMAFIA Valentine's Day drawing, and a Death Parade drawing of the main woman whose name escapes me. And I can't show you the results because for some reason I accidentally deleted the poll. I forget why. I think it was because I thought I was done with it. So I can't show the results, but the ones that got the most votes were my OZMAFIA Valentine's Day drawing and my mermaid one. So, yeah, because it was almost Valentine's Day, I thought, why not? It will be exactly 3 years old. And I thought it would be really cool to redo it. Well, at least that's what I thought at first, but then I was like, do I really want to do this one? The reason why I was hesitating is because this is actually a concept that I got from Hananatsu. It is what inspired it. It was an old drawing of hers, aromatic love or aromatic love, I think. I don't know. But it was a commission of a character in a heart-shaped perfume bottle. She released it for Valentine's Day a long time ago, and I was like, do I really want to redo a drawing that was not even my own original concept? But then I was like, I really want to redo this, and the girl in the perfume bottle is not like, it's not that an original concept, so in the end I decided to go for it. So yeah, at first I was going to completely redo this in Clips and Paint Tool Sai, which was what this drawing was originally done entirely in, but I really just want to do it overall, showing the difference at full throttle ability. So yeah, also if you saw my update video, which if you got past me ranting about Kalala Princess, I said that I've kind of switched because I do legitimately love Paint Tool Sai, and as you can see, I used it for the sketch of this drawing, and it is still really good. Even in this video, I switch back and forth between them a lot, but for the most part, I really do love Clip Studio Paint because it just has more stuff, and it definitely feels more professional. Paint Tool Sai is definitely more newbie friendly, so if you're not into digital art, I definitely recommend it. The only drawback, at least for me, it was a little hard to purchase it, but besides that, it's fine. I love it, and the only problem is that it's more limited in its features, and because it's more limited in my features, I now want something that can do a little bit more. But I still love Paint Tool Sai, but I really do love Clip Studio Paint, and I especially love the vector layers, which I said in my last video that vector layers are like the line art layers in Paint Tool Sai, only they are much more better. You can use any pen on a vector layer. You're not just limited to one pen and one line art tool, and it's really cool, and they're really easy, and that was what allowed me to draw this complex hair. Speaking of hair, I really do like actually the way I drew her, because I think it really does show how much I've gotten better. The dress was really bad in the old one, like really, really bad. I'm gonna probably, when I edit this more better, I will put a picture in here so that way you can see them side by side, but yeah, I really didn't like the way the dress was colored in the original one. I remember when I first did the original one, like, I wasn't overly proud of it, but I wasn't overly disappointed, and back then that was like, because pretty much nowadays, and especially back then, I was always like, every time I got really excited about drawing, I was like, oh, this is so and then I was like, no, it's not. And I still am like that, but I think a lot of artists are like that. They'll think something's good, but then once they get and never look at it, they're like, nah, this isn't good at all. And like I said, I think a lot of artists are like that. But for me, I was happy with the old OZMAFIA drawing, but it quickly wore off because it just wasn't good. I didn't like the way I colored the liquid. The hair was a bit lazy, and I didn't like the way I colored the dress or drew the shape of the dress skirt at all. I really am happy with how I did it here. I loved drawing the frills. They're so fun. I love drawing frills. And fun fact, that drawing was 8 hours. And I don't know, I acted like that was a long time. Like I said in the description, that's 8 hours of my life. And then I put flaming eyes. And I'm like, girl, that was nothing. This drawing took 11 hours. And it was fast considering. Nowadays, it probably takes me about anywhere between 11, which is pretty fast, to about, like, usually the fastest I am is 6 to 3 hours, but that's rarely ever. On average, if it's a full illustration, like, usually it's only 6 to 3 hours if it's like an reference sheet or maybe a simple chibi or just one character standing up. But if it's a detailed illustration, then it can take anywhere between 11 hours to 24 hours. So yeah, I knew nothing about time. But I think that's also because I'm just taking my time more now. Of course, it's kind of hard to judge because I legitimately don't know how long I take sometimes, because unless I'm recording, I do not keep that intact. Like, I try to keep a general thought of how long I took with them because I like posting the time. But for the most part, unless I'm recording, I don't know the exact time. The things that I did differently, I'm going on from one topic to another. But anyway, the things that I'm doing differently in this drawing than the other one is I added a more detailed crystal lotus top, because I really love crystal lotus. I see a lot of them at like Hobby Lobby and stuff. They're like candle holders. So I wanted to do that for the lid. And that was really nice, but it was so big that I got rid of the ribbon, and I actually like it a little bit better without the ribbon. I also tried to make the bottle more detailed. I even wanted to go even more detailed. Like, I even had like a little pump, like, you know, those cords with a little like squishy thing that you squeeze and that's how you spray it. But I couldn't figure out how to get it on there really with the crystal lotus top. And I wanted to make the bottle even more detailed, but I really wanted to get this drawing out by Valentine's Day so it could be exactly 1 year, 3 years later since I drew it. And yeah, like I said, I'm really, really happy with this. I think the biggest, like, I'm not overly, let me take that back. I'm not overly happy with it because it's not like it's my best work. It's just nice to see how much I've improved. Like, at first I thought there'd be no improvement, like, at all. But after I saw myself coloring the hair and drawing the hair shape and the skirt shape, I was like, okay, so I did improve. So that made me really happy. And, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say. I had some talking points that I wanted to, and I'm trying to get them all out, but my mind is failing. So, yeah, like I said, I've gone back and forth between Paint Tool Sai and Clip Studio Paint a lot. Base coloring is a lot easier in Paint Tool Sai. I finally figured out how to do it in Clip Studio Paint. It's just so much faster than Paint Tool Sai, because Paint Tool Sai, since it's more limited, it's also more lighter, so it moves faster than Clip Studio Paint. So that's nice. And Clip Studio Paint, it just moves a little bit more slower. so it's a little bit harder to do base coloring and stuff. I also like to do certain of like erasing and stuff in Paint Tool Slide because again it moves faster and it's easier to select. I'm just not an expert at using that magic wand or auto select, whatever it's called. I think it's called the magic wand in Paint Tool Slide. In Clip Studio Paint it's called auto select. But anyway, I'm not good at it in Clip Studio Paint for some reason. It's easy to use inside, but for some reason it doesn't work properly for me. Oh yeah, the only thing I do regret is I forgot her chain. I might edit it in on the finished drawing, but I forgot the chain. She has this like big bow, and then she has this like little chain with this little bow hanging at the end of it, wrapped around. In fact, you can see it on the old drawing that I did it, but I forgot it in this one for some reason because I was going to do it at the very end, but like I said, I was a bit in a rush. Fun fact, when I got to the coloring process, for some reason my eyedropper tool disappeared. I think I accidentally deleted it. So I had to reset everything. Well, first I had to look for the eyedropper tool. That was really hard. I couldn't find it. And it was making me so mad. I was like, I just want to draw! And I just couldn't find it. So that made me really frustrated, but then I finally just rebooted Clip Studio Paint. I figured out how to do it without having to reboot everything. It turns out if you push the shift button when you're opening it, it can reboot one individual thing. So I rebooted the tools, and it brought back my eyedropper tool, which was deleted, so that was nice. But everything that I downloaded from the asset store, it was still downloaded because it was still there in Clip Studio Paint. It just wasn't on the toolbar anymore. So I had to completely reorganize everything. And hopefully I got everything back to the way I used to have it because I really liked the way I had it. But I don't know. I was actually going to do a setup video showing off my setup. And I also wanted to do a video on how to, like, not how to do Clip Studio Paint because I don't know how to, I'm not good at that. I wouldn't be good at teaching that, but kind of an introduction. Introduction is not the right word. Kind of just my general thoughts of Clip Studio Paint. That's what I'm going to say. A review, kind of. Because my last one was totally inexperienced. And I knew that going in that it would be, but I don't know. That's the problem with me. I always do things really early because I want to jump the gun, and then later I come back and I find out I was wrong and I didn't know what I was saying because I was stupid. Like, when I first got a paint tablet, I said that it's not a necessity, and I said you don't really need one, and I think I could just do good with my mouse. I said that in my Tokyo Teddy Bear video. That was the one that was on the poll. It wasn't Death Parade, it was Tokyo Teddy Bear. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I was in my Tokyo Teddy Bear. I said drawing of Rin. I said that it's not a necessity, and I still, obviously I think it's a necessity if you want to draw like this more faster. But you can do it in a mouse. You can draw with a mouse. It's just going to be a lot harder, and it will take longer to learn. But you can draw amazing art with a mouse. I've seen people do it. It's just harder. So if you don't want to go through painstaking lessons of trying to learn, it would just be simpler to buy a tablet than a mouse. So that would be my thoughts. So yeah, if you don't mind going through painstaking training and learning how to draw with a mouse, then yes, you can do it. It is possible. I've seen people do it. And anyone who says otherwise is someone who just can't do it. But that said, it would just be a lot easier to just buy a tablet. And it took me a while to learn my tablet. Like, when I first got it, I was just like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to plan one, because I was really upset because I felt like I improved so much of my art. But once I got the tablet, I was like, oh, so I'm gonna have to go all the way back to square one? But turns out it actually didn't take me as long to get the hang of it as I thought it would. The key is stabilizers. That is my key. That is my secret. Stabilizers. I have all my stabilizers set to the highest setting because if you've seen my videos, you've probably heard me say this before. I've got shaky hands. Very shaky hands. So my stablers need to be high. Yeah. I wish I would have done a little bit better on her ribbon, her neck ribbon. I think I went a little lazy with that. I also used an asset to do that flower in her hair because I was starting to get a little lazy because after that whole entire ordeal was the eyedropper tool, color picker, I was just like, I want to get done. But then after that, once I started getting to coloring the bottle, I started slowing down again. So that was good because I was glad. Like I said, I did a little bit more details on the bottle this time. I also made the liquid clear because the liquid, well, it wasn't even liquid in the old drawing. It looked just like a polka dot background. And that's how I did the bubbles. I just drew this gradient with this a little bit of shine and a shadow and then a whole bunch of dots to be the bubbles. This time I made it look a little bit more like liquid. It was supposed to look like clear liquid. It was a light tint to it. So the bubbles and the lines would be pink, where the rest of it will be clear. It's easy to draw, and it looks fun. It looks frothy and light. In the end, the only thing I regret with this drawing is, one, I still think, even though I am very happy with how much I've improved, I do think that this isn't like my best. I think it's a little rushed. And I also am a little upset that I forgot the chain, but like I said, in the finished drawing, I'm probably going to have that there. I also wish that the background was a little bit better. The background, well, if you think the background looks good in the old one, that's because I didn't draw that. It's actually a screenshot from the opening of the game, where the scene where gold bullets are like raining down and stuff, because the game is about like the mafia, hence the term OZMAFIA. That's why it's called that. So yeah, there's this one scene in the opening where there's like gold bullets in the background, and I took a screenshot of that, and that was what I used for the background. This time I tried to, well, I didn't draw the bullets myself. I used an asset from Clip Studio Paint because, like I said, I was rushing a little bit, but I at least colored them better. I was gonna make the top of the glass lotus, even crystal lotus, even more decorative, but I was just like, nah, I think it's good. And for the most part, I am satisfied with that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say for this. Did narration pretty much for the entire video. That was good. I first thought I wasn't going to be able to record the narration, but I actually found time. Hooray! The bubbles were really fun to draw. Like, really fun. I don't know why, but they were. That and the crystal lotus topper. I just wish I could have gone a little bit more detailed with it, but rather than that, it was really fun to do. I was also quite not sure about the background because I was like, oh, these bullets look too fake. I should have drawn myself, but I'm too lazy to draw myself. But then I figured out the key. Like, the problem is with assets is you can overuse them and then you become lazy and it's just gonna look cheap and cut out. And that is not good. You don't want your art to look cheap and cut out. You want your art to look like you. So you always want to use your assets smartly. So in my case, what I did for the bullets, you can't see it now because I'm talking more faster than I'm actually drawing. But when I get to there, I actually blurred them out heavily so that way you couldn't see the lack of detail. Plus, I think it just added for a nice effect. And the motion blur worked perfectly. And again, that's why I liked Clip Studio Paint. It just has a lot of stuff. I love Paint Tool Site. It will always, always be my doll. But Clip Studio Paint is just really, really cool. I actually had to do this twice because after I was finished, I export this drawing, but then Clip Studio Paint kind of froze, which again is the one problem with Clip Studio Paint. Sometimes it does that. So it froze on me, and then I had to reboot it, and the drawing didn't accidentally save. That hardly ever happens, but it did happen this time. So because of that, I had to remake the drawing. So the actual illustration might look slightly different than this, but for the most part, I mimicked it pretty well, I think. I was first worried that there'd be too much yellow, but then I added some pink lights, and it really helped balance things out. Because the other drawing, because the liquid was drawn solid, it was just so much pink, and then you had the background, which was kind of covered up so you couldn't see it. So I didn't want an overwhelming amount of pink red this time, but at the same time, I didn't want the gold to be that visible. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I hope you liked this video. As you can see, I think I've definitely improved in the skirt drawing department, the hair drawing department, and even the coloring. Although I owe that to some brushes that I downloaded from the Acid Store. It really made it easy to color them so smoothly and glossy. And I also used Yananatsu's brushes, which I purchased from Gumroad, so that really helped. But yeah, I'm really proud of this drawing just because it really does show how much I've grown. Or at least I hope it does. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, thanks for watching, and I'm glad you like it. And if you didn't like this video, then thank you so much for watching this far anyway. I will hopefully be back with another video. I'm not sure if it will be a speed paint or talking about Clip Studio Paint. It will be one of those two. Not sure though. I'm not really on a schedule right now, but I try to at least get one video out a month. So I'm not sure if there will be another video this month, because sometimes I splurge a little bit and get several videos out in a month. But for the most part, I try to make them monthly, so there probably won't be one until March. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Be happy, be safe, be healthy. And again, thank you so much for watching.